Welcome back. Today we're going to learn how to make a survey or a form in Microsoft Form. So first, you have to make sure that you have a Microsoft account and that you are qualified to access the Microsoft 365 or the Microsoft Forms. Look for this icon in your apps or in your desktop. This office icon, then you click on it. Make sure you are signed in into your Microsoft account. This will then appear. So since we want to make a survey or a form, we click Forms. So this will then be connected to a browser. So this will then show up. So as you can see here, you have My Forms. So basically, you have all the forms you have created in the past. As you can see here, I have already created 2 surveys. And then in the shared with me are obviously forms that are shared with you with your coworker or people in your organization. Group forms are those collaborative forms. So let's just focus on the My Forms. And also you can search for a particular form that you created in here, or forms are shared with you in the search bar in here. Just type the file name of the survey. So now we have to go to new form because we want to create new form or new survey. So this will then show up. So before we start adding contents to our survey, we need to choose a theme first or a design for our survey. So now we click Themes. So the moment we click Theme, this will then show up. These are theme ideas we can apply into our survey. So just click to a particular theme that you want for your form. So in this case, I choose this one. So now we start adding text to our form. So first, we rename our form. So in this case, I rename my form Student Survey. And then I also added a short description, just saying, please answer the survey. And then actually in here, we can also add a particular photo for our survey. So just click on this icon if you want to add. So now let's start creating content. So now we're ready to add contents to our survey. So we click Add New. So this will then show up. So the computer will ask you the type of questions that you can add into your survey. So as you can see here, we have many options. And if we click this drop-down arrow, this will then show up. So more options. So in this case, I want to add a section to my survey. So a section will allow you to group your questions into particular topics or headings. So I click into section. So I want my survey to be about student information. So as a section, I put personal information. And then I can add a short description in here. And again, I can add a picture. So now I am ready to make questions. So as a first question, I want to know the name of the student that will answer my survey. So I click text as my type of question, and then this will then appear. So I put my question in here, I put name, and then in here I also click required so that the student won't be able to skip this. And then this icon is for copying the same question. This one is for deleting the question, and these 2 arrows will then be used if we want to arrange the items or order of our items in our survey. So I want my second question to be about their birth date. So in the Add New, I press date, so I can add a birth date kind of question. So as you can see here, I put birth date as like the question, and then this will then be generated. Again, I click required. So now for my third question, I want to know their gender. So for that particular question, I choose choice as my type of question. So there will be a multiple choice kind of question. So as you can see in here, I can type here my question. So my question is like gender. And then I can add options. So the option for this one is male, female, and then the computer will have suggestions for you. So in this particular question, the computer suggested prefer not to say. So I can click on that one that it will be added as an option. So just click on this one if you want to add more option, and you can also add other as an option. And then you can also click multiple answers if you want the particular student to click more than one answer. So in this case, we don't click this one because for the gender, there's only one answer for the question, right? So, and then we proceed to the next question. So now, as you can see here, I press add option and then I added non-binary as an option to my question. So now, if I want the students to rate my facilities, so I can just click rating as my type of question, and then this will then be generated. So as you can see in here, I type here my question, so how satisfied are you with the school facilities, and then this will be the rating scale. So I can choose levels in here, so if I want more stars or less stars in here. So, and I can also customize the symbol, so I can choose star or I can also choose numbers. In this case, I choose star because it's more, appealing, it's more easy to use. And then again, I click required. So now if I want a type of question that will allow my students to rank the facilities in the school, I choose ranking as my type of question, and then this will then be generated. So in this part, I type my question. So I just say rank their service, and then in here I type my options. So library, cafeteria, administration, and then I can also add more options in here. So it looks like a multiple choice kind of question, but it's different when the student answer the question because they will be required to arrange the options in a particular order, so we can see the type of answers later on. So in the answer portion, this will how our question will look like. So it's really not the same as multiple choice, right? So the students will then be required to arrange these three in a particular order, so they can do so by moving their mouse up and down. Then they can arrange this one. So now if we want to even more explore the type of questions that we can add in our survey, so if we want a Likert type of question, then we can choose Likert in here, and then this will then appear. So in here we type options, so it could be like a scale, and also we type here our questions. So now we can add statements and options for this question. So in this case, this is how I want my Likert scale to look like. So it's like the students will give their ratings from 1 to 5, and then I have here the facilities that I want them to give their ratings. So library, canteen annex, gymnasium, comfort rooms, and then you can customize your Likert scale in any way or format that you want. So you can have like strongly agree, disagree, strongly disagree in here as like your options, and then you can customize again your statements. So now in my survey, I add more questions. So as in this case, I want to know if the student has a laptop, so that would require a choice kind of question, right? So as you can see in here, the computer suggested options, so I can just choose add all, and these three options will then be directly displayed here as my option. So let's look at that. So as you can see in here, we click add all, right? So yes, no, and maybe are already displayed in here, but it seems that maybe isn't a proper option for this question, right? So we have to do something about that. So since maybe it's not applicable, so we just delete it. So we click this trash icon and then press it, and then this option will then be deleted. So Microsoft Forms offers a very good feature that is adding branching. So we can explore that by adding more questions, and then we're gonna look at that later. So again, we add more questions. In this case, I want to know the operating system of the laptop. So again, I choose a choice kind of question. So again, I have Windows, Mac OS, and Linux as my option. Again, I add a new question. So do you have a smartphone? Yes or no? Again, this is a choice kind of question. So now let's explore add branching feature in Microsoft Forms. So this is a good feature because it allows the respondents to be directed to a different set of questions depending on his or her previous answer. So to know more about that, let's look at this one. So again, remember we have a particular question about if the student has a laptop or not. So we can add a particular branching for that. So we just click on this three dots and then we click add branching. So this will then show up, and then the computer will ask us. So if the student will say yes, then we have to choose a particular question wherein he or she will be directed to. And same with if the student answered no, he or she will be directed to what kind of question. So let's proceed. So if the student answer yes, then he or she will then be directed to the number 8 question asking about the operating system of that laptop. And then if the student answered no, then he or she will then be directed to the next question that is asking about smartphone. So as you can see in here, add branching is a very good feature in Microsoft Forms because the student who answered no to having a laptop, then the number 8 question will be very irrelevant. So he can just skip directly to the next question that is if the student have a smartphone. So as you can see in here, adding branching will prevent redundancy of questions that are actually irrelevant to a particular student based on his or her choice. So add branching is a very good feature in Microsoft Forms. So lastly, I add my last question asking about their grade level to formally end our survey. So now that we are done with our survey, we can go to preview so that we can see the format or how our survey look like. So here is the preview of our survey. So this icon represents immersive reader. So we can click on that if you want the computer to read aloud our survey. And then we have here computer and then mobile. So if we click computer, it will show the format of our survey in a computer screen. So if we click mobile, then it will show the format of our survey in the mobile screen, right? So in the preview, we can also pretend to be a respondent. So we can actually answer our very own survey to see if we need to add more or we have to edit out our survey. So if we are done with the preview, then we can just click back. So if you're done making your survey, you can adjust a few settings of your survey. So you can just click these three dots and then this will then be displayed. So if you want to go to settings, just click settings, and then actually multilingual is just asking about the language of your survey. Then so now let's proceed to the settings. So this will then show up. So as you can see here, you have an option to restrict the respondents. So as you can see here, you can just who can fill out your form. So it could be anyone or only people in your organization. Then you can also choose if you want to record their names, and also if you want only one response per person so you can avoid duplicate results. So this is very important if you want to make a quiz so that they can only answer the form just once. And then you can also have options for responses. So as you can see here, obviously you have to accept the responses, and actually you can allow a start date and end date for that. So let's proceed to the other settings. So to proceed, so we can also add dates, so the survey will only be open for a limited time range. So we can set a start date, so we can set the date and then the time. We can also have an end date. So we can have again the date and the time here so that the students won't be able to open the survey before that start date, and the student won't be able to answer the survey anymore beyond this date. Okay, and then we can also shuffle the questions. So this is very important in quizzes. And then we can also customize our thank you message. So as you can see in here, I type your response was submitted as my customized message. And then I can also adjust the notification. So if I want respondents to receive an email after answering the survey, I can click this one. Or if I want to constantly get notified if I have a new response, then I just click this one so I can get email notifications. So if you are done with your survey and you're okay with your format and all of those stuff, then you can actually proceed then to share. If you're now ready to share your survey to your respondents, right? So as you can see in here, you can, select the people who can be your respondents. And in here you have the link of your survey, so you can copy this one and then paste it to different platforms, so then you can send it out to the people that you want to answer your survey. So this one is link, this one is QR code. So Microsoft Forms is very good because you can actually have a QR code of your survey, so you can just download the picture and then have it released to your people, and then you can embed it, and then you can actually personally send your survey to particular people, so you can email it to your respondents, and then you can actually share it as a template. So if you want to duplicate this one, and then if you want to collaborate with your team, then you can share this one, allowing them to either view your survey or they can actually edit it, and then you can proceed now. So as you can see in here, you can actually choose the people who can respond to your survey. So it can be only people in your organization. So maybe you have like the same email domain, like maybe in the school you have like .edu.ph, so people only with those emails can actually answer your survey, or you can just click this one, so anyone with a link can actually respond to your survey. So if you want to know the response to your survey, then go back to your survey and then click response in here. And as you can see in here, you can know the number of responses in here and then their average time to complete it. And then since we actually added a start and end date for our survey, it's actually closed as of now. And then when it's open, you have your results already, you can open your results in Excel, so you can analyze your data in a more organized way. And then now you're good to go. So here is a short demo of us answering our own survey, so we know how it looks like. So just please watch. So if you watch the demo, you remember that in the number 7 question, we actually chose a yes question, and then we were given a question that is about operating system. So now if the student actually choose the no, then he or she will then skip the question about the operating system and will then be directed to the next question is about smartphone and then the grade level. So as you can see here, the add branching option that we have added actually worked, because the student who choose no will then skip the question about operating system, since that is very irrelevant, right? So as you can see here, there is the beauty of adding branching in your questions. Wow, that was a long video, but thanks for watching. Well done! Now you are ready to make your own survey form. Subscribe and like for more videos. Again, thank you for watching. See you in the next video.